Here's Franco. We had Franco on last week. Great interview. If you can go watch that. Franco says Italy calls for suspension of EU carbon tax. It's over. Like it's basically people are seeing what this climate religion has done to their economies, managed them into decline. Look at Canada. It should be one of the richest nations in the world, and we have people standing in record numbers in food banks. And the Liberals are patting themselves on the back because they're handing out some crumbs, bread for the circus, handing out some crumbs for a GST credit because they put 12 million people into a poverty lineup. Sadness. That's what that is, a sadness. That's not applause. That should call for your resignation. And here it is.
I think I froze.
What's
when you were
that?
doing when you had the New Brunswick thing on. I
Yeah.
think I froze for that. Just wanted to. I'm just looking at it in the document here. New Brunswick says it wants to be the best place to mine in Canada. This being the province, as we discussed, that's sitting on unimaginably huge gas reserves,
Yeah.
but won't tap into them, won't access them. It's like
And it also doesn't believe in
the whole of Canada, right there in New Brunswick.
And that's a province that doesn't even believe in freedom of expression, and you want to put your money there. You know what I mean? That's the place you want to trust. This is the lady that doesn't want you to even express your thoughts and doesn't want the government to use anything that will allow any kind of criticism of her government. That's the place.
Unless it's on Blue Sky.
That's on Blue Sky.
Yeah. You'll just get banned anyway if you voice any criticism.
Thank you to Canada. Thank you very much. That's generous and supporting independent media. MO is neither a contract nor a formal business or diplomatic document. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of guest book signings, a lot of MOUs, a lot of performative nonsense, for sure. A lot of performative nonsense. Buying time, but it's been a year. It's time to put some beef on the table. It's time, like the Wendy's commercial, it's time to show me the beef. Show me something. Show me something. And here it is. We've given up Canada's prosperity for this. And then Mark Carney and Tim Hodgson try to tell you that China is all in on net zero. That doesn't look like China's in on net zero, does it? China is the largest source of global greenhouse gas emissions. Guess who's not on this chart? You see Canada anywhere?
Can't see New Brunswick either.
I don't. So we fit into the rest of the world and the rest of the story. So Canada's about, Iain said this many times, that it's about 1.4 to 1.6% of the world's total carbon emissions. And yet...
Well, there's another country we can't see there, which is the United Kingdom, which is possibly the most zealously committed to net zero of any country in the world. We also can't see Germany, because those countries do not matter, nor does Canada. Literally doesn't matter. There's nothing Canada could do, even if it wanted to, on emissions. It's irrelevant.
The three of them together are about half the world's emissions: China, United States, and India.
And India's, by the way, is only going to increase because India's been underpowered. Yeah, it's gone through a massive growth period and industrialization period. And China too, though they're building loads of solar panels and wind turbines and whatnot, and they have quite a bit of hydro, they're still also building coal because they have coal. They don't really have enough oil or gas, although maybe they do have gas. That sort of remains to be seen. But they use what they have, and they have coal. So they're happy to build more coal power plants, and they're doing that.
Here's the lesson for all the climate extremists, and for the media that has become climate extremists as well. Just a little thing, if you look at this chart just long enough, something might twig on you. Something might twig on you. Just a little thing, like, there it is, the United States, the world's largest economy, the world's richest economy, the best consumer in the world, with no industrial carbon tax, is at 11%. They must be doing something right. Right?
And can you remember as well when, I think it was was it Kyoto? Or one of the big climate meetings where George W. Bush said, what did he say? Farewell from the world's biggest polluter. You remember when he got a lot of stick for that? That was a big scandal, wasn't it? Because America really did put out the most emissions then. That's not so long ago, is it? What's changed since then, you might ask? The answer is fracking.
Yeah.
That is the answer. That's why the US, I mean, that's most of the answer. There's some other little bits and bobs, but most of the answer is that they dropped coal. They were using majority coal. Even I think during the Obama time, more than 50% of their energy mix was coal. And they exchanged coal for natural gas, which is far less polluting. And look at that now. Look at that tiny little slice of pie that the Americans have. But of course, fracking is enemy number one, isn't it? And all of these climate organizations, activists, they all tell us that fracking's evil and bad. And yet, the most consequential reduction in emissions that we've ever seen in history, pretty much, is a consequence of fracking. That's another thing, if you're the curious kind, that might make you wonder. That might make you scratch your head a little bit.
This chart here can tell you so many things all at once. The United States is a third of what China is, with a larger economy. A third. Must be doing something right. Why don't we follow what America's doing as opposed to destroying our economy when we don't really even matter? We've literally destroyed our wealth and prosperity, yet people still seem to think this party is the path forward. Literally destroyed our economy. We have, again, record numbers standing in food bank lineups, people that can't afford beef. For what? For Justin Trudeau's ideologies, Mark Carney's riches for Brookfield. Brookfield, go to BAM on this Canadian stock market on TSX. Put in the word BAM, like the symbol, and then go to their website and read their investor deck. Largest investor in climate technologies. The world's not moving there. The world's moving away. And yet Tim is still saying we're moving towards it. It's all about energy. It's literally all about energy. And that's kind of the theme of today's show. It's all about energy. And again, look at this chart. Print this one off, stick it on your fridge, and anytime a climate extremist comes at you, just put it down and ask them to explain it to you.
Yeah. But there's also we've got Canada here talking about the consequences as well of trying to push energy that maybe doesn't work or is not quite as efficient. But these are real consequences. It's not just something as abstract as emissions. It's like people being hungry or well fed, or people being cold or warm. There is a real human element that's so often forgotten in this absurd conversation about CO2 emissions. This crazy intangible thing, rather than real life. Actual human beings. But also, someone, who was it that said it? Cold Spring said, China is in no way interested in the green, he said, in net zero or green technology. Yeah, indeed, they're not. They're not doing it because they're sat there and they want to be at one with Mother Earth or something like that. They're not doing it for the purposes of feng shui. They're doing it because, as I said, they don't have oil within their territory. They don't have sufficient oil within their territory, or fossil fuels generally. And the Chinese, like the French, we talk about the French, they're not stupid. And they realize that if you don't supply your own energy, you're vulnerable. It makes you weak. It's a huge vulnerability. So that's why the Chinese are going all in on solar and wind, because that's something that they can just manufacture for fun. And they've got plenty of wind and plenty of sunshine. So, yeah, I mean, some people get it so wrong with China, where they praise China. It's like, oh, great, China's really interested in, green technology. It's just have a read about China. Just go on bloody Google Maps and have a look at some parts of China. Look at how the Chinese build things, particularly industrial facilities. Just look at what they do. You can literally see it on a satellite. They just annihilate the landscape. The Chinese Communist Party is not interested in the environment or environmentalism.
Canada is one of the richest resource nations by diversity And the thing that stands in the way, and Iain has said this many times, and I've repeated it many times, it's weakness of leadership. It's weakness of leadership, and that's both provincially and federally. The only two engines firing in Canada right now are Saskatchewan and Alberta, and I would say Ontario, but they basically stuck a knife in their auto sector here, and that flip-flop forward there has willingly allowed it. And we talked about Jolie yesterday. That clip went really wild. But it's like their biggest industry, the auto manufacturing sector, they're basically gutting it for political reasons, and it's absolutely crazy what's going on.